the runaround. And if you're anything like myself and Michelle, because you have education, knowledge, and the actual intelligence to decipher the things that they try to throw our way with, either based on demographic or, education, they try to make you feel lower than what you are, depending on where you live,
Yes.
depending on
Yes.
your background, your ethnicity. So, like Michelle was saying, we as parents, we get tired. We are allowed to
We
get tired. We
do.
are human. And, for a while, I felt bad. Like I was the one that caused, or played a part in this removal. And until I was able to speak to my parent warrior, who did not have any type of animosity or, blame my way, it's just unfair to the children overall, but
Yes.
literally unfair to us as parents because they mentally brain, like just brain, they give it to us. They give it to us with no lube. I'm just gonna say it like that. That's made, that's censored, made for TV. But
Well,
I'm
I
sorry
feel
to
like,
interrupt. Right. I'm sorry,
no,
Michelle. Go ahead.
you're fine. You're fine. But I feel like, and this is the way I've described it to people, just imagine you're at home on a leisure afternoon,
Right.
you and your children doing the normal things you do. And all of a sudden, there's a knock at the door. And next thing you know, your young child is clinging to you, begging you not to go, and they're just torn from you. The
Now,
pain and the heartbreak of that alone, I feel like any parent,
should never have
it's
to
a
go through
hard
that.
thing.
And can I just ask, when your children were removed, if you care to follow, go through the steps based on what we know as far as the law and us not having to let these people into our homes, what are some
What,
other manipulative tactics that they may use?
well, they may use a variety of things. I feel like most of the time, and I could be wrong, not in all cases, but the majority of the time, it could be just a pure manipulation of making you feel like you've done something that you haven't. You
Absolutely.
know,
Or right.
Oftentimes as parents, we are our own worst critic.
We
So
we
when
volunteer
someone says,
information. Sorry,
yes,
but we
and when
volunteer
you,
too much. Yep.
yes, and when you feel like, well, maybe I did do something, maybe I didn't, did I, did I not? You overthink the situation and it creates a storm, so to speak.
Psychological warfare. Psychological warfare.
Yes. hmm it creates this whole storm within yourself that it takes a while for you to overcome sometimes.
It makes you think that you're not living in the reality. And when these
Yes.
people when these people try to impose like mental impairment or being unfit, it makes
Yes.
us as the offending parent rethink the whole situation and really have to question ourselves when we are normally, myself, I'm a confident person. Michelle, I haven't met you in
Yes.
person, but I've spoken to you and you seem like a very confident person, very educated and informed person. And yet still they were able to
You,
manipulate you the same way they did me.
yes. Yes. Because it's the whole idea of somebody submitting an idea that as an educated
Right.
person you will take and think about.
To analyze every possible outcome, thinking we made the
Yes.
best decision by either being transparent, forthcoming,
Yes.
or just non combative because we don't have anything to hide. But in
Yes.
all actuality, once we open that door, it is just
It
like a downward spiral domino effect of destruction and dysfunction.
and then I feel like you're even penalized further when you experience those things that any parent would experience after the removal. You experience
Right.
depression, you experience anxiety, you spiral downward. And
And
that's
it's
a
like even
normal reaction.
reaction. Absolutely. I was getting ready to say that normal reaction.
Yes, but then you're penalized for that.
So it's like a catch 22. If you go and try to get help, you're penalized because you may be
Yes,
admitting that something is wrong. If you don't go and get help, it's like a ticking time bomb or a tea kettle waiting for the whistle.
yes.
Mm. So,
Sadly,
would you like
that
to
is
tell our
true.
viewers? Sorry. But would you
No,
like to
go
tell our
ahead.
viewers what was said to you as far as one of the reasons or one of the possibilities of your children returning home?
Well, one
What
of
were
the
one of the things?
possibilities would be for me to undergo psychological evaluation and to agree to a full case plan, which, if I
Is
have
a
any
catch 22.
psychological issues,
It's because of
I
them.
feel like, yes, yes, 100%. Yes,
It's because of them. They cause
yes,
separation. They basically, even though this information is for educational purposes, this is not any legal advice. I just want to make everybody aware.
no,
But legally, these people impose custodial interference and parental alienation every time they violate any court orders, any parenting plans, which consists of visits, any orders that were said that certain services were supposed to be, initiated. These people drag their ass. They don't give you the supports and then possibly cause a manifestation of the disability and make you decline. And then
yes,
turn around and say, look, see, we told you she was like that.
yes,
So it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So now with your situation, they've tried to ruffle the feathers in your foundation
yes,
and your home
which was a
life.
very
You
strong foundation, very strong.
and so
And
what
I
did
get
they try to
very,
do?
very emotional
Emotional.
when I
As you
discuss
should, you're
this with
human.
people, but my children were my entire
Yes.
existence. They
As,
were everything
as
to
they
me.
should be. You're a mom. You're a mom.
And
25/8.
you give your entire life up to them children just for someone who doesn't even know your values, your morals, what you want to impose on your children to better the world, to judge and say, you're not a correct mom, you're not a proper mom. It's very disheartening.
And nobody gets to say that. It is.
It's very
And as I can see
frustrating,
you
to
showing
say the
emotion
least.
right now, you're a parent warrior. You're a parent warrior, and you are allowed to be emotional because our children, they bring every emotion to us: happiness,
They do.
worry, love, patience.
Yes.
Like, and my heart goes out to you because I'm getting emotional too. Just, I'm just grateful that I met a parent warrior like you. And I'm glad that I could assist you, you could assist me, because that famous phrase, one hand wash the other, both hands wash the face. There have
Yes.
been many times that other parents experience the same corruption and the same emotional overwhelmment. I see that innocence is priceless. Innocence is perfect, but innocence is not something to be played with. It
No,
is not
not at
something to
all.
just use as like a puppet. And Michelle, I am so sorry as another parent warrior that you are experiencing your voice making waves, because that's exactly what it did. You pissed them off because you're smart and you're not letting them give you the runaround. So what do? They take your innocence to try to break you down so they can win. But in all actuality, we play the long game, hun. And although
Yes.
time is not on our side when it comes to the laws and the separation, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
Yes.
And you know a lot. I know a lot. Mr. Davis knows hell of a lot. And you see the resistance they give him. You see the resistance, I went through. And now I am watching your foundation being basically jackhammered because your voice was louder than the foreman's, if you get my drift.
Yes.
I'm sorry
And
to
that's
cut
what
you off. I
at
didn't
the
mean
end
to
of the
yeah.
day,
I'm sorry.
that's what it comes down to. When you speak up, when you stand up, and you find that resistance, you find that attack, that's when you know you got to keep standing. You got to keep speaking because
You
that's
gotta
when it
tear down those
matters.
paper walls. Those paper walls.
That's right. Those paper
Michelle wrote a
walls
song, guys.
have to come
My parent
down.
warrior. She wrote a great song, guys. I posted it on my Facebook. She has it on her Facebook. Anytime you're feeling down and out, she told me to use it for inspiration. And that is her actually singing on that song. So, it gives all of us motivation. And in her time of sorrow, she is able to put her hurt into something that can be felt worldwide. So thank you, Michelle, for, giving us that inspiration, that motivation. And again, your voice makes waves. So kudos, parent warrior, all the time. Like,
All the time. Never waver.
so now with your children not being in your home, what else is CPS trying to tear away from you in order for you to be their
I
fake
feel
little
like
pocket? Yes.
it's been a lot of isolation, um, a lot of, in lack of a better term, intimidation. I, for several weeks, I felt intimidated. I felt isolated. I felt that I had no other option than to follow what they said.
Do you even know where your children are?
No,
Have you had the visit that CPS is supposed to by law give you between 24 and 72 hours after removal?
I had a comfort call the night they removed them, and that's the last time I heard my children's voice.
And how many days have your children been gone from your home?
We're at 30 days.
I'm so sorry, Michelle. And there has been no communication since then, since the first comfort call, right? Do you know if your
No.
children are together?
I found out just the other day that my children are together, which is somewhat of a comfort,
Okay.
but I feel like they're safest with me.
You're their mother. Why would they be safe anywhere else? Or more safe anywhere else other than being with you? And what was the allegation that they tried to report?
It's so many that I can't even pinpoint.
It's just like reports going left and right? Like right after the last, once you did the last stream, it was just like report after report after report, even when the children are not in your care,
It
right?
was just the original allegation was not even involving me, period. And then I done the first podcast, and then quote unquote, I looked batshit crazy, and then it went
Do
downhill
you want
from
to
there.
tell us who said that, or would you
Um,
like to? If you don't want to, that's fine.
I'll keep that
Person got
kind
it,
of private for now.
but it's
But
unbelievable that it came from that person. It's yeah. I just want to say that. I mean, I'll leave it where it's at, but that's unfair to you. Very unfair.
it is very unfair because anytime you stand up for what's right in this world,
You get knocked
you're not
down.
crazy. You're not crazy. And there will be people out there that will say you are. They will say you're this, you're that. Just
And
keep standing.
I just said, this is like the only, I thought, I had a little bit of ignorance when I first started this corruption of, my journey of corruption. I always assumed that it only happened in the United States. No, this is worldwide.
It is
This is
completely worldwide.
countrywide. Like, this is
And
unbelievable where people can say something. Say
even
something.
me, I went into it thinking if you're innocent and you just
Comply.
cooperate,
Yep.
eh,
Comply.
things are okay. And that's not true. It's not
Whether you
true.
comply or you don't comply, whether you follow the rules and do everything outlined, it's still always something missing. There's still one more thing you have to do or one more thing you didn't do. And then when you enforce your rights as far as reports to these agencies or reporting these agencies or workers within, you're penalized for that because now they're put on a red flag to where now they have to do their job. So now you
Yes.
get penalized because that's my case. In my sense, I don't know if you've experienced it, but in my case, I have made various reports about these workers and the other agencies, within CPS's whole chain of command, whether it be the Office
Yes.
of Family and Children Services, parent advocacy, or just basic, information where they patch you into these places. And then my experience again, when I went back to court, I was penalized for harassing and traumatizing my children and the foster parent or the CPS worker. And I was told by the judge verbatim, that is not a reason to call in a report. It is a reason to speak to your attorney, end quote. But that's what was written on the order that the judge wrote. If you do not have these orders met, you are allowed to take legal action. For example, welfare checks.
Yes.
I
Yes.
do welfare checks. I am making reports where the children are snatched out of their beds all hours of the night, every day, all the time, never ending. So when do I sleep? When do I use the bathroom? When do I eat? If I'm making these calls nonstop. So, when you file complaints, although it is legal in every state and they have their own specifics on that, you are still penalized for actually
Yes.
doing your part and being the parent.
You're penalized even for questioning. You are penalized for even questioning.
And the level of incompetence mixed with insanity is just equal to psychological warfare once again.
Yes.
So, parents, the insanity is real.
It
The
is.
insanity is real. The definition of insanity, for those of y'all that are unaware, because we still have people that, may not know, it is the process of doing the same thing over and over again,
Over and over.
expecting a different set of results. So if CPS has been doing this for years, regardless of whether it was race, history, DV, or just overall neglect, these people have been causing insanity on families by separating them for $1 and not even honoring their policies, let alone the duties of their job scope. You cannot be
Yes.
kidding me. You like this is insane. And then they drive us as parents crazy to the point where now they have something else to add to the list of lies that hearsay is not allowed for us to be admitted, but they can have all
Yes.
the hearsay in the world because somebody told them something, and now we have to be told what to do. until we get our innocence back home and still maintain. Either if you have a history of substance abuse, you got to maintain sobriety. If you have mental health, you got to maintain stability. If you
Yes.
have any other, you know, defaming or stigmatized label that society or any type of clinician, educator, or somebody in a high authoritative structure can impose on your life or
Yes.
narrate
Yes.
the course of things that happen in your life. And the first thing that they know that we as parents will crumble and fold to our knees is our innocence. Because if you notice, when people cannot get to us, they start throwing darts at our children. And they know for each dart thrown, we are going to jump in front of it like the soccer mom when she puts the arm across you in the
Yes.
car. So, we are protectors by nature. That is
Yes. Yes.
an instinct we are born with. And it is just involuntary. It just happens without us even thinking about it because we are moms. We are moms. We are dads. We are parents, 25/8. We deserve the title that was given to us. And nobody should be able to take that away that has no right to do so.
No one in this world has a right to judge us as parents.
And,
No one.
Michelle, like I said, I don't know you personally, but as a mom to another mom, human to another human, just the way you express how you feel about your children and the defamation and the bias you have experienced based on you loving your children is is inhumane. It's like these people have no empathy. They have no type of humanity.
No.
Anybody that is okay with keeping your children because somebody said something should lay down immediately, flatline.
Yes.
and
Because I still to this day I wake up every morning wondering, what they're having for breakfast. I
write
I
it
try
down.
to lay down every night wondering what they done.
Write it down. Those are questions you can always ask as long as there's still time. And I'm speaking on something you said to me and you always say to me until my dying breath.
Until my dying breath.
And as you should, they took their first breath coming from you, and you should not be the ones to ever give up. Don't let anybody tell you that being a mom is wrong.
Oh no, being a mom is the biggest blessing in life.
Every time, every ounce of sweat, every drop of blood, every tear we cry, our innocence is the most perfect and priceless things that we have ever given life to in this world.
Yes.
And you cannot expect a parent to just rip all of the structure, all of the motivation, all of our reasons for getting up, working the job we
Mhm.
freaking hate,
Yes.
fighting through traffic to get to the school to either watch a soccer game or a football game, to get to our other child's dance recital, to get back home to cook dinner before the bus drops them off. These things, people that are not, with are not gifted with having children. And I feel for those people. But for
Yes.
those that do have children and actually want to be parents, you don't get to sever a natural instinct when a mother lioness is to protect her cubs by any means, and then
No.
expect when you do snatch
That we
them from behind her
lay
back.
down and take it.
Exactly. With every bit of beat down, drag out, knock down, we take a pummeling to the finish and still come out
Yes.
with scratched, beaten, and bruised, but we're still there because we're moms and dads.
Oh,
We are parent warriors to the fullest. Are you stuck, Michelle? Maybe. Well, guys, until we get her back, I want to let you guys know that I'm sorry, someone's on my phone. I want to let you guys know that, you are allowed to be emotional. There is nobody in the world can tell you because you have feelings about something or someone. I don't want to say something, someone, our innocence basically, that is the most precious thing that we have been responsible for in our lives. We maybe we lost Michelle. Maybe she'll be back. But speaking on the I have been dealing with a lot of resistance, negligence, and just overall unintentional incompetence. And I say that nicely because the incompetence that I am dealing with and experiencing again now with another new case planning team, the caseworker should be definitely unemployed. And I am so glad that at this time I no longer have to deal with him as the first point of contact, but it still makes it hard because now I have to tell the same story over again. And this will be the fifth worker since February 8th of 2023. Every time somebody does something productive within the CPS statute or the Forced Secure Agency, they're either telling me that they're resigning soon or they just quit or become fired out the blue. But it's not really out the blue because they have been doing some unnecessary, unlawful, unordered, and unconstitutional trickery. Because I really want to say a different word, but I'll just say trickery overall. And I know my ICPC, which I had requested back in July, was not initiated until September. And then the things that I am being asked to submit in, in connection with this packet are not needed. And the next court date is December 1st. So my children could have been placed with my family if these people would stop playing with paperwork. Because that's what it is. You're asking me for my children's social security cards for an ICPC. This is not my first time, and I've never had to submit those for an ICPC leaving from the state of New York, going to another state in the United States. The insanity is real. But I think Michelle may have lost connection and maybe she won't be back on. But I will say, I'm glad she decided to tell these people off, to let them know that her voice will not be silenced. She is a mom. She is lawfully entitled to the things that these people are restricting based on negligence and just incompetence. You cannot You cannot tell me that because reports may go in, or these workers or foster care agencies and their representatives, such as foster parents or kinship guardians, are the ones that have no consequences for their actions, but are acting on behalf of this agency or this entity. So if you have a foster parent who is not kinship that violates the authority in the state that you live in as a foster parent or representative of a foster care agency, there are certain things that myself or my attorney can file. And if those things have been filed already, why is there no reprimand? And why are children still in a setting where court orders are not being, enforced or honored? Unauthoritative consents, or I should say, consents given without any authority or legal right or court order to allow either a foster parent or a foster care agency or a CPS worker to do so without a court order, and education infringement where these representatives of these foster care agencies or CPS, workers are allowed, like these people just go above and beyond. Like this whole my child got registered in a school that I would have never placed her in based on the location. It's project convenience. That's what it is. I didn't mean to change the whole aspect of the conversation, but I just saw something that popped up and I had to respond to it. It does not accommodate everything that she needs. And it's basically convenient so the foster parent doesn't have to get up and do her job. That's what it is. So now that you seem to get what you wanted to get out of me as an arise, I'm not gonna put myself on a chopper block. I'm just gonna go back to what I was saying as far as where these people come in and they infringe on your life. Like, you know, they make you miss certain special, unforgettable moments, such as birthdays, graduations, doctor's appointments that you are lawfully entitled to in your state, educational situations that certain people should not be involved in that, make their self visible or present for nothing. And then they want to make it seem like you're the one, as the parent, myself, or any other parent warrior. They make it seem like you're being combative, aggressive, or just not getting your way. No, it is basically, I'm not getting the legal way, not getting the judge's way, not getting the state's legal. Like, you have to stop. You have to stop. You have to stop overstepping your title and the duties of that title, because just because a child gives you a title does not mean legally you have the authority to do the things that you seem to keep doing. But at the end of the day, legal is legal. And that's where I'm going to leave it. And unfortunately, Michelle must have lost connection. And, I just want to let you parents know, the more you know, even though you get pushback, you need to know as much as you can know and nothing less. Don't let these people let make your intellect allow you to feel lower than what you are because you're smart. Don't let these people give you pushback on things that is written, lawful, or ordered. And always refer back to your paper trail. Like Mr. Davis said, use a paper trail for everything. Document everything. Everything. That way, when you catch them in their lies, the level of immunity that they thought they were covered by will slowly diminish with every lie that they tell, every connection note or service log entry that they leave out or fail to admit for evidence. Every time they tell you something that is not true or restrict you from something that is your God given right, the right in that state for your title or your constitutional right overall. And don't forget, anything that the judge has written is where it is. These social workers make up their own rules. They give you these they give you these suggestions because they're not requests, because they cannot request anything that is not written. And then even when you comply with all these hoops and hurdles that they make you jump over, they still have failed to follow their part as far as the things you may ask them that they never get back to you about, or take extremely long to get back to you about when they know time is of the essence. Time is not on our side, whether you're healthy, whether you're young, whether you're, you know, with communication, medicine. You need to be able to see your children every day, and that means they need to be home. So if these people or these representatives that stand in your way of what is legal, lawful, constitutional, and ordered, write to the proper people. Let your voice be heard. If you would like to be a guest and tell your story, we have to stand united, parents. We have to work together. The larger our parent warrior base is, the easier it is to convey our concerns about the corruption within these agencies that steal our children for a dollar. You have to be mindful. Children are impressionable, especially in those early years. Children are like sponges. They soak up anything, everything, and all the things that they see, hear, or feel. And when your morals and values are trying to be, you know, embedded in them as structured, discipline, or just core acceptance of where you come from, who you are, and anything you want to be is achievable if you want it. You have to be in it to win it. And I just want to commend Michelle for going through all this hurt in a time where we are. This is November. This is the month that we give thanks. But if you want to get technical, everything that we as parents go through, everything Michelle has went through, everything I have went through, Miss Dorothy, Betty, Bark, Lisa, like every one of the parent warriors that have been guests on my show, every parent warrior I see in my neighborhood, every parent warrior that has messaged me, and every parent warrior that has sent their message and told their story on one of Mr. Davis's platforms, I want to say you guys are amazing. Do not give up. Innocence is worth it. Innocence is always worth anything, everything, and all the things. And just in case I have any special guests watching, I want to let my girls know all y'all have is each other. You are your sister's keeper, and y'all are amazing. And as usual, my message is conveyed. And we have about maybe 15 minutes left. So as usual, I'm going to let my husband do the Q&A. So, babe,
Yeah,
the first question.
you only had two questions, but you had some other things you needed.
Okay, so give me the first
The
question.
first question was, "How are you doing tonight?"
Who is that from?
It's from Cooking with CER Senior.
Okay.
And then the second question, I don't really know what they was referencing to. They said, "But what can we do about it?"
And who's that same person?
Yeah.
So, cooking with CER Senior, I guess that's Caesar. But what can we do about what? The question is vague. And this stream is all about CPS, corruption, and, parent warriors trying to get their message across. You guys come forward. I know some of us are still afraid. Some of us are worried about retaliation. But just know it takes one voice for us to be a bigger voice and a bigger voice. Each time a parent warrior conveys their message, they make it easier for another parent warrior to step out of the shadows to get the support and the help they need to keep them in the right state of mind, to not allow these corrupted ass people to take our children and leave us to the wayside. We are here for each other.
And this one person I think that probably be interested in. Her name is Murder Jefferson.
Miss Jefferson?
Yeah.
Miss Jefferson, if you'd like to, Jeffries? Miss Myrtle Jeffries. If you'd like to be a guest on Manic Mondays with Miss K, you can reach out to the number below or the office of Attorney Vincent Davis. There is always somebody there. You can reach out to the producer Grace, or you can reach out to me on KK Richardson at Facebook. And I am here every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you'd like to be a guest on next Monday's show, please reach out or inbox me after the stream, and I will be more than happy to hear your story.
The comment they left was, they said, after losing my children for no reason, I went back to school and I'm going to graduate with my master's in social work.
Education is key.
So I'm going into office and I'm going to do what I can to change things.
As you should. Sign the petition that Michelle has on her page. They tried to pull it down, but, we are parent warriors. We take a beating, but we are still standing. So, as usual, I want to let you parents know we get overwhelmed. We are exhausted. We are beaten to the brim. We are knocked down. We are dragged. But we are moms and dads. We are parent warriors. We love our children, and we will never give up the fight for innocence. I am your host, Miss K, on Manic Mondays with Miss K, on Attorney Vincent Davis's platform, every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And parents, remember, never give up the fight. Innocence is worth it. Grace?
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis, defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last one.